of the military in the numbers of over 500 as of one of their last recent graduation ceremonies. It's about fraternity without hierarchy. Today we sit down, blessed with young men who met at the age of 19, 20, 61 years ago, and still friends and brothers today, sharing in arms and sharing in advice. Time has given you gray hair, but it has also given you perspective. And perhaps the greatest privilege we have this morning is that you are still here with us. So together, we will discuss and listen through your eyes, looking back over the years, the experiences that you had as far back as 1964 that have brought you here today. It's an afternoon of conversation, not a ceremony. It's an afternoon of memory and not protocol. It's an afternoon of brotherhood shared with this fine gentleman here today. So if I may, at this point, I would like to take a few seconds to introduce the fine gentleman we have with us today. And in no particular order, I would like to start with Major General Williams, retired, often described as the moral compass within the military. He rose to become the Chief of Defense Operations, Planning and Training. A renowned intellectual, he also served as Commandant of the Training and Doctrine Command. Please, ladies and gentlemen, today with us, we also have Major General Roman Kachim, retired, known within his cohort as BTS Kachim. He is recognized as one of the pivotal figures who not only shaped but was impactful in early operational standards that were set at the Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, please shall we put our hands together for the General. With us here today as well, we have Major General Rabi Ali, a distinguished scholar soldier. He was a silver medalist, second in order of merit, at their 1967 graduation. He served as the chairman of the regular course over Tonga, and once held the post of military secretary in the army. Please can we put our hands together. With us we have today General Emmanuel Alison. He was a key member of the 1RC, the fraternity who contributed to the early technical and administrative framework of the then newly indigenous officer corps. Ladies and gentlemen, with this beautiful wife today, shall we please put our hands together and welcome General. Unfortunately, not here with us today because he had some other commitments this weekend, honoring one of their brothers in arms that have fallen. I would like to introduce Lieutenant General Aliyu Muhammad Isao, retired. He was a legendary figure in the Nigerian security arm and is the former National Security Advisor. He served as the Commandant of the NDA itself from 1992 to 1993. He later served as the Minister of Defense, cementing his role as a grand strategist. In his absence, shall we put our hands together? I would like to now also introduce our convener and host of this momentous occasion, Admiral Alison Madueke, one of the few naval officers from the pioneer class. He rose to become the Chief of Naval Staff in 1993, 1994, and he holds the rare distinction of having served as the military governor of not one, but two different states, Anambra and Imo states. Ladies and gentlemen, please shall we welcome. Not with us today, but also recognized as part of the Course 1 of the Nigerian Defence Academy is Colonel Sunday Samuel Moru, Colonel I. Igodario, and Colonel Samuel Awudi. They are not with us today for one reason or the other, but we will recognize them. Please put your hands together. So ladies and gentlemen, we've introduced the fine gentlemen that are here with us today. And as the theme says, or the discussion topic says, these gentlemen, you stood at the gates of NDA in 1964. Young cadets, not sure of what the future held for you, not sure of what the NDA curriculum held for you. And today, we are honored to have you in our presence. As we look back at the foundation of the Nigerian Defence Academy forces, from your vantage point, we would like to have an open discussion with you today, where we can speak to you and have you give us some ideas of your first impressions when you arrived in 1964 as young cadets. You can tell us about your process through this system, and then the realities that you faced after having passed out as young cadets and becoming young officers. And then we will look at the legacy that you've left behind. We will invite you, or we will pass the microphone around and just have you say something about your first impressions when you first arrived in Kaduna in 1964. You know particular over it? Shall we start with GC?
Yeah, so there are more serious problems than talking about 60 years ago. I'm telling you, more serious problem that now, in terms of safety and security, I mean, people die every single day. I am not bothered about that, and that's what I came here to talk about. So if you just want to tell me our own stories, please let them do. So I want to give me time to talk about what we face today, okay? Because we went to a place yesterday, remember, tomorrow.
Yes. So,
I think we can go ahead.
we can. We says we can.
Williams, like he was introduced, I think I want to actually a bit more on the gentleman that joined us yesterday. This program started on the 11th, but General Ike joined us yesterday. He came in from Owerri, and he's here with us. It is interesting that he was able to make it. The man really came for a general, retired as an engineer in the Army Corps. At the time, he was the military governor of Oyo State. And you could probably remember the plane crash of 22. He was involved in that plane crash. And he was a lone survivor. So you have this every day, an indestructible young man, General Emmanuel Ikegwa, with his beautiful wife, who has always been by his side ever since. It is not always that we meet people who have gone through what they have gone through and still are able to meet obligations. The mere fact that they were able to leave their homes to come to Enugu is a wonderful achievement and honor to all of us who are sitting here. Emmanuel, thank you very much. Emmanuel, thank you. It's an honor and a promise, and we shall not forget it. Thank you. I think going forward, like General Williams said, Let's start off with looking at the issues of today. It's nice to look backwards, but let's start looking forward, because tomorrow is here.
Yeah, thank you. I really wanted to get a picture, but I'm seeing you this one, but I'm done, and then one else. Now, what I want to talk about this morning, really, is because we don't seem to understand what we're doing, or deliberately, we don't seem to understand what we're doing. But I always tell people, anywhere in Africa, or any part of the world, especially in Africa, that Africans suffer from 3 types of things. One is acute intellectual dependency syndrome. What do I mean by intellectual dependency? Everything that happens in Europe or United States or anywhere, we sort of take it as being correct. And instead of acting like the Asians, adapting, reversing, and everything, to fit their own situation, especially culture, what do? We just adopt. We just adopt without thinking about it. Second one is acute international donor dependency. Whenever you go to a ministry in Nigeria, they tell you have no money. They tell you they have no money. Our universities, they have no money. All the agencies, they have no money. But they get budget every year. So where does the money go? Where does the money go? And that brings me to the third word, acute integrity deficiency syndrome. It's a very difficult to find people of integrity in this country. And when people are appointed to help the government public agencies or something like that, it's a separatist movement. It's a separatist movement. Okay? You are not treating us well. And you are not giving us our rights. If you don't see them, politically, you can find a solution. That's what we tell the case of India, for example. If you are in India, the problem of sanctions should have been solved a long time ago. What is the simple? You go back to your federal system, in which 1960, this state has resource control. They give some to the federal government, they give the rest. Will you go around with that? In the United States, for example, you wonder why the United States hasn't got all these security problems in spite of all these ones that if you have a house in the United States, under the ground, and you have oil or gold, it belongs to you. Not your community, it is you that is the owner. And you can do whatever you want. But once you do whatever you want, you pay tax to your town council, because they don't have all these money local government like you have in Nigeria. It's the most stupid thing in Enugu. They have town council, city council, metropolitan council. Okay, now, if you are in Canada, the state, like Enugu state now, anything under the ground belongs to Enugu state. Anyone of federal government will work it out and say we give a certain percentage. But what's very good about Canada is this. They have a federal fund in which all states contribute money to help other states who have got the resources that others have. They have that. Okay. So that's how federalism works. That's how federalism works. Now, but in the case of Nigeria, they want to control the resources. They don't care about federalism. They just control the money. And every month, people go to Abuja to go and share. How does that affect? It affects accountability. That's why most states did not care. The money is not for federal government. The government still did not care. And the Supreme Court spoiled the whole thing by making a ruling that federal government cannot ask state to account for the money they collect every month. So who is the government accountable to?